With the 7 confirmed to be returning, I figured why not drop a lore video dedicated to them. In this video, I talk about each member of the 7 and then explain their entire lore. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting with the Foundation, aka the leader of the 7. Originally meant to be the chosen one and first debuting in Chapter 2, Season 6, Zero Crisis. While not much is known about him, we do know that he's a very short-tempered and arrogant person. He does, however, have good intentions. His arc with Jones was entertaining, and he was last seen in Chapter 3, Season 3, where he was chromed off screen. The next member is the Scientist, making his debut in Season X and was originally known as the Visitor Volta. The Scientist has got to be one of my favorite members of the 7. He's a smart and brilliant engineer making a lot of the 7's technology. He's also got a very good sense of humor and he's very sarcastic. He sees himself as the most handsomest member of the 7, and he's one of the few people who wrote their own NPC descriptions. The last time we saw him, he was chromed on screen, which was very unfortunate. Now, not much is known about the Paradigm. In fact, many people speculated her to be the Singularity because a lot of factors added up. We never knew what she looked like at the time, so it was safe to assume that they were both the same person. Also, the Paradigm was the one who piloted the mech all the way back in Season 9, and Singularity was the one who built it, so most of us just assumed that the Singularity was the Paradigm, but unfortunately this was disproven. Now, we don't know what happened to her, but many people assume that she died because of what she said. One of us has to survive. Our survival is more important than my survival. Everyone, I hope to see you on the other side. It's been an honor. Being the first member of the 7 to be introduced all the way back in Season 4, the Visitor came in a rocket and then he left in a rocket. He's a very quiet person and the poor guy just wanted to retire. Unfortunately, he also got chromed. The Order, or as I like to call her, the Frauder. This is my least favorite member of the 7 because she has no development and personality. But then again, I never really read the comics, so I can't really speak. Anyways, moving on, she was introduced in Chapter 3, Season 2, and she's the sister of the Imagined and the daughter of Jenna. We don't know what happened to her, but it's safe to assume that she was chromed off screen. Now, the Imagined, Wendy's, is the other daughter of Jenna and sister of the Order. The Imagined was a very chaotic person who loves to rebel. She was the one who killed her own father but sacrificed herself in the process. She was the first member of the 7 to die. Also, something that I forgot to mention is the reason why the Imagined and the Order joined the 7 is because their father abandoned them for better versions. The Origin is a very interesting character because he is the former Cube King. Yes, the former Cube King. The Origin left the last reality after he realized that they were evil and was soon trapped by the Imagined Order. He managed to escape and soon joined the 7 as their field tactician. He was last seen getting chromed on screen. Now that you know every member of the 7, I am going to explain what their lore was in the Fortnite storyline and how they contributed. We were first introduced to the 7 in Season 4 when the Visitor came to the island in a meteor. He stole some movie props and turned it into a functional rocket. We don't see the 7 up until Season 9 where the Paradigm pilots the mech and defeats the Devourer and then flies off to the Ice Moon. The season after, we see the Scientist arrive because the 0 point has destabilized as a result of the monster versus mech fight. In the end event, the Scientist launched a rocket into a rift which caused the island's matter to be reorganized. Now, we really don't see them for the majority of Chapter 2 up until Chapter 2, Season 6, Zero Crisis. Jones sends his rift gun into the 0 point in the hopes of getting help from the 7, in which he does. He gets the attention. I can't even speak today. He gets the attention of the Foundation, who tries to throw hands with him but stops when Jones mentions Jenna. The Foundation decides to help Jones and tries to stabilize the 0 point, but that fails, so he seals himself within the Spire. When the aliens invaded the Chapter 2 map, the Spire broke, causing the Foundation to fall into water. In the Batman Fortnite comic Foundation, the Foundation helps Batman seal a rift in Metropolis, only to be followed by the Batman, who laughs. They both fight and the Foundation manages to win. He escapes the loop, then he goes on to find Jones. In the end of it, he rescues Jones from the clutches of the IO. He reveals himself to be the Rock, and then he gives Jones his rift gun so that Jones is able to defeat the IO guards while he attempts to flip the island. Meanwhile, the Scientist and the Visitor come to the island and break into the IO bunkers and leads the loopers in. We meet up with the Foundation and Jones, who successfully flip the island, but then a caretaker breaks the glass and then we all emerge into the ocean. In Chapter 3, Season 1, the Scientist attempts to contact the Paradigm to get her help to stop the IO for good. In the following season, the Imagined Order launches an attack on the 7 and took over the majority of the island. The 7 retaliate and managed to take over a good chunk of the island. Soon, the IO makes a doomsday device known as the Collider to destroy the island. In the Marvel Zero War comic, the Visitor comes up with a plan to stop the Collider. If they get to the mech that's on the Ice Moon, then they'll be able to stop the Imagined Order. The Scientist says that it's dangerously cold, in which Spider-Man suggests that they get help from Thor and Storm, since they can manipulate the weather. So they split up. Spider-Man, Jones, and the Imagine get Wolverine's help to track down a Zero Shot. Now, I don't know where this Zero Shot came from because there's so much continuity issues with this comic. Meanwhile, Jenna recruits Doctor Doom to be in his inner circle. The group goes to Wakanda where I can't even speak today, dear God. The group goes to Wakanda where they engage in a battle until Shuri realizes that they're not a threat. Wolverine tracks the scent of the shot to a base guarded by hybrids. Spider-Man suggests that they head to the Savage Land where it's likely that Stegron has the Zero Shot. The Foundation, Iron Man, and the scientist arrive on the Ice Moon with the help of Thor and Storm. They soon find the Paradigm, who has woken up from stasis. The Paradigm convinces the Foundation that she had to work for the IOB for the greater good, because otherwise they would have used the Doomsday device on the Chapter 1 map. Meanwhile, Spider-Man and everyone else go to the Savage Land and defeat more hybrids. They camp for the night and the Imagine spills the beans on Wolverine. Geno is her father, the same person that founded the IO. The next day they found Stegron and the primal creations of the High Evolutionary using the Zero Shard. The group battles both of them so that Spider-Man is able to break into the lab and yoink the Zero Shard, only for Doom to take it. They stop fighting and the High Evolutionary gives the group Doom's next whereabouts. They go to the Ice Moon and confront Dr. Doom. Despite using the Zero Shot and many powerful artifacts that are in the castle, the Spider-Man manages to snag the shot from Doom and use it to power the mech. Dr. Doom flees the Ice Moon. In the collision event, or the Marvel Zero War issue 5, since they both take place at the same time, the Origin introduces the Looper to the Paradigm and says that she'll pilot the mech and we will pilot the weapons. We leave the Ice Moon and go to the island and beat almost every IO tank and airship. However, the mech gets damaged, in which Jones sends Peely to deliver Slurp. When we reach the collider, we almost destroy it, but the ground below us collapses. We see Brutes and Sloan in her tank. We fight them while Paradigm works to get the mech online. Seeing that the Imagined Order is losing, Dr. Doom betrays Geno and leaves the island. When we reach Sloan, Jones tries to get her on our side, but she doesn't listen, and she should have, because the mecha's fist destroys her tank. While that's happening, Geno fights her daughters, and the Imagine sacrifices herself to defeat Geno by tossing them both inside the Zero Point. The mech begins to lift us out of the sinkhole until the Foundation notices that the Zero Point is focused on Geno, in which both the Foundation and Jones jump in to confront Geno, but they both see Geno and the Imagine slowly disintegrating into many realities. Geno states that he hopes that the Seven know what they're doing, otherwise we're all cooked. In Chapter 3, Season 3, the Seven won. Meanwhile, the Visitor thinks about retiring. Soon, the scientist notices that something is wrong with the Zero Point because it was summoning relics from other realities. After tasking the Looper to collect them, the scientist realizes that the Zero Point is trying to send a distress signal. Near the end of the season, the Foundation and the Order go missing, in which the rest of the Seven worry. The scientist studies the Chrome, and soon the Chrome consumes the Visitor, the Scientist, and the Origin. The Paradigm manages to escape and goes to Reality 659. The Paradigm contacts us and tells us to try to find the Origin's attack plan. After doing so, they attack the Herald, but the Chrome is still there. Soon the Paradigm says that she must cut communication for now. After a while, Jones contacts us and says that we gotta boost communications with the Paradigm, who tells us that reality will perish if we don't do something. She states how she has a plan, however she needs notes from the Scientist. After the notes were found, she asks Jones to tell her everything he knows about the Loop Breaker project. After that, we send information to the Paradigm thanks to Bush Ranger. In Fracture, after the Herald destroys the island, the Paradigm asks the Looper, Jones, and Amy to collect fragments of the Zero Point in order to restore its energy. After that, the Paradigm sacrifices herself so that the Zero Fusion is able to work. In Chapter 4, Season 1, after Jones disappeared and Paradigm's supposed death, Amy pinpoints the scientist's location while investigating Rift Ward and Stellan's plan, and a fragment of her returns corrupted, stating how the Seven's existence is being sculpted anew. Following this discovery, she builds herself a new body and tries to use Stellan's Rift Gate to rescue the scientist. She leaves the Looper and she was never heard of or mentioned again. So yeah, this is basically the Seven's entire lore within the storyline. Are you excited for the Seven's return? And if so, do let me know in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy this video, consider liking and subscribing. And if you don't want to, then that's fine. Anyways, without further ado, peace out.